Do you have one of these valuable Pokemon cards? I hope so, because in this video we're going to cover the 25 most valuable Pokemon cards, all of which have doubled in value in just the last year. And it's been a great year for Pokemon cards, especially in value, but you're definitely going to want to stay for our top 5 because it includes Pokemon cards that have tripled, quadrupled, and even increased in value by 10x. So stay tuned for that. Number 25 is the 1999 Pokemon Hitmonchan First Edition Holo in PSA 9. It recently sold for $3,000 just in December, and you can see it was just a year ago that you could buy this card for $1,157, meaning in just 12 months, the card has increased in value by 2.5 times in just such a short time. Awesome card. Number 24 is the 2002 Pokemon Legendary Collections Haunter Reverse Holo. This one in a PSA 9 recently sold for $595, and it was just 12 months ago when it was selling for $219. I mean, this card has increased in value by 2.7 times in just the last year. Number 23 is the 2006 Pokemon EX Holon Phantoms Mewtwo Gold Star Holo in a PSA 9. This is crazy. This one sold for $8,100 in December, and it was just a year ago that this card was selling for $2,803. I mean, this card has increased in value by 2.9 times in just the last year. Number 22, this is a cool looking card, is the 2013 Black and White Legendary Treasures Mew EX Radiant Collection Full Art in PSA 9. It's just recently sold for $660. And it was a year ago that this card was selling for $224. I mean, this card has increased in value by 2.9 times in just the last year, and I would give this my Eye Appeal award. I think it's a cool looking card. Number 21 is the 2002 Pokemon Japanese McDonald's Pokemon E Minimum Pack Squirtle. Squirtle the Turtle, and this is a holo. In PSA 9, it recently sold for $1,375, and a year ago, this card was selling for $398. I mean, this card has increased it by 3.4 times more valuable in just the last year, and every card from here out is going to have tripled in value or a whole lot more, so stay tuned. Number 20 is the 2014 Pokemon XY Phantom Forces M Gengar EX Secret Rare in a PSA 9. This card just sold in December for $1,250, and 1 year ago today, it was selling for $350. I mean, this card is worth 3.5 times more than it was just 12 months ago. Number 19 is the 2013 Pokemon BW Black Star Promos Darkrai Full Art PSA 9, sold for $599. When a year ago, this card was selling for $160. I mean, this card is 3.7 times more valuable today than it was just a year ago. Number 18 is the 2014 Pokemon XY Phantom Forces Gengar EX Full Art. I actually really like the look of this card. I don't know why I like it better than the last Gengar that went by. But this one in a PSA 8 sold for $967. When just 1 year ago, it was selling for $250. There's 1,000 of these out there in PSA 8 condition, but this card has increased by 3.8 times more value in just the last year. Number 17 is the 2000 Pokemon Gym Heroes Erica's Clefable First Edition Holo in a PSA 10. This card just recently sold for $2,600. When 1 year ago, this card was selling for $635, meaning this card has more than quadrupled in value. It's 4 times more valuable in just the last year. Pokemon cards have been on fire. Number 16 is the 2016 Pokemon XY Generations M Charizard EX Holo. In a PSA 10, this card sold in December for $2,550. And it was just 12 months ago when it was selling for $575. Meaning this card is worth 4.4 times more than it was just 1 year ago. Number 15 is the 2002 Pokemon Expeditions Venusaur Holo. In a PSA 10, this sold for $3,000. It was just a year ago that this card was selling for $660, making this card 4.5 times more valuable than it was just 1 year ago. Number 14 is the 1997 Pokemon Japanese Topsun Blastoise with a green back in a PSA 9. This card sold in December for $599. And get this, a year ago, this card was selling for just $115. Meaning this card is 5.2 times more viable than it was just 1 year ago. I also like Blastoise. Number 13 is a 2021 Pokemon Japanese SP Promos Pikachu. This full art in PSA 10 just sold maybe a couple days ago for $2,375. And 1 year ago, this card was selling for $450, making this card 5.3 times more valuable than it was just a year ago. If you haven't done so already, PokeWizards, subscribe because we've got more awesome videos. I'm bringing my data to the Pokemon world, and hopefully you enjoy it as well. So make sure you subscribe. Number 12 is the 2005 Pokemon Japanese Gift Box Pikachu Gold Star Holo in a PSA 9. This one sold in December for $4,850, when 1 year ago this card was selling for only $900 in a PSA 9 condition, making this card about 5.4 times more valuable than it was just a year ago. Number 11 is the 1999 Pokemon game Chansey, first edition holo in CGC 10. From the baseball card world, I don't do much with CGC, but I'm getting a little more into it. This CGC 10 sold for $27,500 just in November. There's only one of these cards out there, but this card sold just a year ago for $4,600, making this card almost 6 times more valuable than it was just a year ago. What's crazy about this graph is that this one-of-one card, there's only one CGC 10, but it sold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in just the last 2 years. So this one card has moved hands a lot. Whoever made the most money there at the $27,500 is pretty excited about it. Now we're in the top 10. Number 10 is the 2005 Pokemon EX Delta Species Groudon Gold Star Holo in a PSA 10. Unbelievable. This card sold for $29,000 in December. And just 1 year ago, this card was selling for $4,800, making this card worth over 6 times more than it was 1 year ago. Number 9 is the 1999 Pokemon Fossil Kabuto First Edition in a PSA 9. This card just sold for $125, when a year ago, this card was only selling for $20. If you're looking for a budget card to potentially invest in, I'm going to talk about Kabutos coming up. This card is worth 6 times more than it was just a year ago, and Kabutos are still coming up on this list. So this is a card that's really seems to be catching fire right now. Number 8 is the 1997 Pokemon Japanese Topsun Kabuto. We just talked about Kabutos, but blue back. In a PSA 10, this card sold for $3,000 just in October. But a year ago, it was selling for $450, making this card 6.6 times more valuable than it was just 1 year ago. Number 7 is the 2006 Pokemon EX Holon Phantoms Pikachu. This is the Gold Star Holo in PSA 10. This card is unbelievable, as it recently sold for $50,000 in September. And this card a year ago was selling for $7,500. Making this card also 6.6 times more valuable than it was just a year ago. These price movements are just crazy. Number 6 is the 2016 Pokemon XY Generations Zapdos Full Art in a PSA 10. This card sold in September for $1,175. And a year ago, look at this card, for just $175, making this card worth 6.7 times more than it was a year ago, and I think it's a cool design. Number 5, we're going to keep the Kabuto train going. 1997 Pokemon Japanese Topsun Kabuto, blue back in a PSA 9. It just sold for $300. I wonder if this is the one I should go grab. When a year ago, this one sold for just $41. Are you kidding me? Ugh, it's already increased in value by 7.3 times a year ago. I think these cards have caught fire. Number 4 is the 2013 Pokemon BW Black Stars Promos Darkrai in full art PSA 8. This just sold for $455 in December, and a year ago this card was selling for $60, making this card worth 7.5 times more valuable than it was just 1 year ago. Number 3 is the 2004 Pokemon Japanese Rocket Gang Strikes Back Torchic in the first edition Gold Star Holo. This one's got everything. It's also a perfect PSA 10. This card sold in October for $36,000. There's 100 of these out there, but 1 year ago, this card was selling for $4,680, making this card worth almost 7.7 times more than it was just 1 year ago. Number 2 is the 1997 Pokemon Japanese Topsun Kabuto. This one with the blue back. This one in PSA 10 just sold for $1,800 in October. And 1 year ago today, this card was selling for $228. Wow. Making this card worth about 7.9 times more than it was just this time last year. And if you made it this far, PokeWizards, make sure you leave a Pikachu lightning tail in the comments. Just put a lightning emoji. I'll hit you back with a Charmander fire. But now, number 1 is the 1999 Pokemon Fossil Kabuto First Edition in perfect PSA 10. This card just sold in December for $937, when just 1 year ago this card was selling consistently for $56. When I saw this chart, this is the one that made me think this Kabuto character was going crazy, and maybe something I should look at. But that means this card is, get this, over 16 times more valuable today than it was just a year ago. You heard it here first. I love to bring data to these types of things. So hopefully you've got some of these cards and you realize they're super valuable or more valuable than they were just a year ago. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you watch this video next because we made it for you and YouTube says you're going to love it. We'll see you then. Bye.